Hi, my name is Amanda Schroeder, and I'm here to talk to some people who probably are going through something similar to what I'm going through. Um, I am 40 years old. I have two daughters, a 11-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I've recently been diagnosed with something called central sensitization syndrome. Fancy words. The reason I am making this is because when I found out what's going on with me, I didn't know exactly what to do. I've had chronic pain, what feels like all of my adult life. I was about 18 years old when I really started feeling it. 11 years ago, I had my first child, and when I had her, it threw my back out of whack and it hurt really bad, and it just went downhill from there. I've gone through all sorts of procedures. I've seen an amazing spine and neck specialist in Texas who I started with, and I did injections, and my injections were under x-ray so that they knew exactly where to pinpoint my injections. As of right now, my only medical diagnosis that is like that they can see is that I have bulging herniated discs in my lower back. So that brings me to the fact that I have suffered in a lot of pain for a long time. I've gone to therapy. I've done therapy with my right after I had my second daughter, and the back pain just wasn't going away. My pain specialist in Texas at one point got to the point where he said that it was time for me to start going and talking to surgeons. So I went and started talking to surgeons, and my husband and I talked to quite a few at reputable areas, and everyone kind of had the same idea that it was probably best for me to eventually have a fusion. But they weren't ready to give it to me, a spinal cord fusion. And it's my L4 and L5, and I think it's an SI joint. So I have problems, like I said, in my lower back where I bend. I like to call it a belt line. And the pain just doesn't go away. It's constantly there, and I've tried everything. Every time I've ever gone to a doctor, immediately they want to put me on some sort of medication that is for, pain management, from hydrocodone to oxycodone to whatever else. And I've always pretty much refused. I don't believe that I need narcotics to take care of this if we figure out what's wrong with me. That brings me to my next problem. So I went and saw all these doctors, and they said, let's talk to you later. Well, the pain was still there and it wasn't going away. So I went and found another doctor who said, hey, I understand what you're going through. Let's try doing something different. And that doctor said, let's go in and do artificial disc replacement. This is considered experimental. I looked it up. It was going to cost me a lot of money, and insurance didn't want to cover it. And that's when I lived in Texas. And I got ready to pull the trigger on having 2 artificial disc replacements when my husband got really sick. And that led us on a whole new journey to a whole new place that I never thought I'd end up. And now I'm here in Arizona. In Arizona, I was able to go and meet some specialists at Mayo after we got him taken care of and figured out what his problems were. And they told me that they think it was a great thing that I didn't have my artificial disc replacement surgery. And instead, they offered other options, and I ended up getting a spinal cord stimulator put in my back in 2019. It's touch and go. It works and it doesn't. Bring you up closer to where we're at now. Last year, I had been seeing a primary care doctor, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which, not really surprised. My mom has it, and I had some of the symptoms she has, but mine's just a little bit different from what she has. From there, they told me about getting on Lyrica, gabapentin, all these different medications. And where I am not my mother, she's had a lot of difficulties, and I was really frightened of the difficulties she had. They did put me on a medication. They put me on Cymbalta, which is supposed to help for fibromyalgia, a very, very low dose. That brings me to now. My back is still hurting. My spinal cord stimulator works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. I do know it's doing something, but it's not relieving the pain as much. I recently was diagnosed with the central sensitization syndrome. That means sometime down the road, my brain got confused and it constantly has pain signals that are going off, just telling me I'm in pain all the time. Typically, I wake up every morning and I start my day at a level 3 or 4 pain. If you've ever been to the doctors or the emergency room and you see that nice little chart on the wall and it has happy faces to sad faces to crying and screaming faces, I start my day between a 3 and a 4, meaning kind of a sad, just in pain face, but I do what I need to do, take care of my kids, try to take care of the house and my husband. Currently not working, but getting ready to go back to work. So that was okay. But then it started to get worse. And now I'm waking up, and sometimes I wake up and I'm at that 4, and it doesn't take much to get me into the 6 to 7 range. And as anyone can tell you who's lived with pain for a long time, living with pain and not having an answer is incredibly frustrating. It's draining. It's hard on your relationships. It's hard on your kids. So what I ended up doing is I started looking for other options. And a doctor that I have, I don't know my rules as far as naming doctors. So if I find out I can give names and attach them, I will. He does work at the Mayo Clinic, suggested that I try the pain rehab center. Pain rehab is where you've done everything else from surgeries to medications to injections, and you're just done. And you're ready to try something different. Don't offer me narcotics. Don't offer me just ways to bandage this. Let's figure out the best way for me to have the best life possible and cope with what I've got. So this is a longer one, but I thought what I would do is I would give a little blurb of something I learned each day. The Pain Rehab Center is a 3-week program that's pretty intense. I go from 8 in the morning till about, I think I said 4 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, and I get the weekends to be home and the nights to be home, but it's a lot of physical therapy, a lot of occupational therapy, a lot of therapy with people who also are going through what I'm going through. So what I figure I would do is I would post something that I have learned that might help others. I'll try to do every night. Don't know how I'm gonna feel. I just had my first experience with them where I had my admissions day. My admissions day was pretty amazing. I got to meet all the doctors and all of the people who will be taking care of me. I got to do a ton of surveys, a lot of questions, and a lot going on. But it was a lot about getting to know me as a person, me as my pain, that I am not defined as my pain, and where to go from here. The idea is that after this 3-week program, I will feel better, be ready to return to work, and have control over my pain and instead of letting it control me. I'm gonna learn a lot, and it's not gonna be easy. I don't think anything in my life has ever been easy. But I'm ready to take this challenge on, and I'm actually excited about it, especially meeting other people who are going through similar things. They said that there's a group to 9 to 10 of us that go through it, and they tease and they say these people become your best friends and your worst enemies all at the same time. So I will get back to you guys and let you know once in a while what's going on. And thank you for sticking through this thing. Sorry if I kind of wandered off in my conversation. Um, but I just, like I said, I want to help other people out there who don't think that there's anything else out there to help them with pain and unseen. The fibromyalgia people out there, the IBS, what would they say? It was, sorry, there's so many. If you look up central sensitization syndromes that fall under that category, the umbrella, I can attach a video also about what it is exactly. But like I said, I have nurses, I have what do I have? I have nurses, occupational therapists, psychologists, physical therapists, chaplains are involved, meditation is involved. This whole program that's designed to make you be in control of your own pain so that every day the rest of my life, yes, I probably will have some sort of pain, but I will live with it and I will continue on and I will be happy and I will be successful and I'll be a great mom like I am striving to be and a great wife for my husband, and I'll do that, and I'll also be happy for myself. But it's a long road ahead, and I'll do check-ins and let you know how I'm doing. And for any of you who didn't know about this about me, you're welcome to text me or ask me any questions you want. But like I said, this is kind of a big step, and I just thought I'd share. Thanks, and I'll get back to you soon. Bye.